birds even done lost their minds, y'all, out this joint. They say it's in the air, y'all. They say it's in the air, y'all. Birds out here squabbling. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. They got a lot going on. Let me rewind that thing back, man. It's funny. I like her energy though. Straight up.
Right there, right behind their eyes, and that grin that basically looks like a demon's mouth. When you start believing in stupid things like equality and everybody should vote and everybody gets a say in how we run our government, doesn't matter how dumb they are or how much they hate the people who built the country, this is what starts to happen. Okay? We are living under Bolshevikism. Okay? If you are new to this or you don't realize, you're like, we're in a capitalist country, you're retarded and you haven't been paying attention.
Right.
Because if you say anything that goes against the Bolshevik agenda, what happens to you? Think about all the things you don't say because you know that there's a consequence. You don't even need somebody to tell you anymore. You're just self-censored.
Right.
Congratulations. This is the end point of Bolshevik communism before it becomes kinetic and actually starts rounding people up in camps and killing them the way they did in Russia. Honestly, to the white South Africans, I don't know what to tell you because it is your home. You built that country. There were no black people permanently settled in South Africa when the Afrikaners got there. Okay, well, they were the Dutch at that point. They weren't Afrikaners. They created the country. They created the whole infrastructure. They created the running water. They created the farms, which grew the food, which could support the booming Bantu population. And the Bantus were violent African nomads who went through sub-Saharan Africa killing and slaughtering the tribes they came into conflict with. And they are keeping up that same energy when they find the white farmers. This was the reason that apartheid was established. They never want to tell you. They just act like white people all of a sudden for some reason. Deep inside them, they are just racist and we can't understand it. No, don't look at the television and the crime statistics and the incessant black behavior. Right. Don't pay attention to any of that, please. No, whites are racist because they're evil, that's it. Yes, they're just evil. It's not caused by anything black people are doing or have ever done. They're the gift to this earth. They've always been so wonderful. Oh! Look at the racism in this video. It's amazing. And the fight, they don't stop. The shiboonery continues. I mean, drive her through a window. This was a dollar store. All right, the good news is everybody in that video was black. I don't know why that's good news, because then they can't claim racism, right? When the dollar store closes, because they can't survive when their store is being destroyed, you can't claim racism because it's being run by black people and you drove into it and you're black. So this is what people are now waking up to, right? Because our generation was the generation that was brought up under the lie that white people had a deep, evil, original sin within them of racism that they couldn't resist without constant persecution from the media telling us how bad we are. And now, thanks to social media and police officer body cams, which the left called for, we are clearly seeing that any kind of quote-unquote racist systems were established to protect white people from people who can't seem to manage their emotions, build a functioning society, or at the very least, respect our boundaries and the things that we create. Well, everybody's bringing up how hot this white woman is who came over here. She's a very good looking lady, I will say. I'm not a lesbian, but I can recognize women. We have the ability to recognize when other women are beautiful. It's usually when we call them a slut. Okay? If this Shaboon over here had posted her picture in a bathing suit on Instagram, there would be tons of women under her comments going, "You're beautiful, you're so brave, oh my God, I wish I could wear this suit like you, you wear the shit out of that swimsuit, ooh girl," that's what you would see. And if this chick, who is actually hot, posted a picture of herself in bikini, you'd be like, you're a pick-me, you're a whore. Look at somebody starving for attention. Oh my God, gross. I don't even like her body. Those hips are weird. That's what you get. So for all the people that were saying the white South Africans didn't look like they were suffering, I mean, how many of the migrants that come through our country look like they're suffering? Would you look at that? Pretty well dressed, huh? And aside from these two women that I can see, it looks like a sea of military-aged men. Oh, dude, there are women in here, but you really can't tell you can't tell, man. God, man. What do you think they're bringing to your country, huh? These are the doctors they told us and the engineers. What do you think they're bringing? I can just see the streets of trash. But God forbid we let some white people into this country who are actually being killed for nothing that they did, by the way. By the way, there's 5 million Afrikaners living in South Africa, and we've only accepted 50,000. I would be for accepting all 5 million of them. I'm not even kidding. But the terms are, when you leave, you got to burn down that farm. Hey. You want the country? It's got magic soil? Here we go. Start over. And the truth of the matter is, you can even leave the farms that are there, and they're still going to be starving to death in about 5 years because they just can't do these things. I don't know why. Maybe they're cursed. Maybe it is what the Bible says. The curse of Cain, your hand will work the earth and nothing will come from it, because what else could it be? It's all projection. It's all a projection. The real racists are the people who are saying they're going to kill you because of the color of your skin. The people who are spazzing out of sheer envy and resentment because this woman possesses a beauty so casually, they could never, no matter how much skin bleaching and hair dyeing and hair extensions, they will never be able to replicate. And so because of that, they believe if they can destroy her, they can destroy this beauty that exists in the world, and then they will be the symbol of beauty. But beauty is not in the eye of the beholder, and it is not subjective. There are objective aesthetics. That's why we like certain architecture. Just soulless. That's why we like certain faces. We think it's beautiful. We want to see it. That's why we like certain music, or it's why we like certain poetry. Stop listening to the soulless demon communists who want to destroy everything and then tell you that it never existed in the first place. You must have been crazy. Talk about epic gaslighting. I mean, I don't even know what this is, to tell you the truth. I don't know what that is. The media is fantastic.
Trump has virtually halted refugee admission in America for people fleeing war and famine in places like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
No, I don't care. Good. I don't need any more Sudanese and Democratic Republic of Congo, because they don't know. They bring their war here. That's what they do. Go look at Canada, where the Sikhs are fighting the Indians or fighting the Pakistanis. Okay? They basically what you did was you just imported India, Pakistani, Sikh, and now it's in Canada. Okay? Canada doesn't exist outside of the people who make it. India doesn't exist outside of the people who make it. It's not like once you go to India, something comes over you and you immediately just start shitting on the street. You can't help yourself. That's not how it goes. Okay? There are Indian people who need to shit on the street for some strange biological reason we can't understand. So it's not like once you take them over to Canada and you show them toilets, suddenly it changes to, no, the genetic thing that just, I got this shit on the beach comes out. Enough.
Rick, Mark, and Eddie. Interesting.
Yes, so deeply and morally wrong-headed and repulsive. These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history.
Supremacy. I wonder who that is, dude. Who knows? They're just evil, dude. You can just hear the evil. They're the descendants of people who created. Okay, so are we doing collective guilt or are we not? Okay? Because when a black person commits a crime and it statistically keeps happening, we go, well, we can't treat all black people like that because not all black people are like that. But then when a white person shows up, they're guilty of not just what white people are doing now, because they're not really doing anything, right? But everything white people supposedly have done throughout history.
They're not directly responsible for it, but it was a system that actually moved black people off of the arable land. So they inherited the land that the black people had to give up. It was called forced removal. Something called a Bantustan.
Oh, there we go. There's the magic soil again, the arable land. What were they doing with the arable land before the white people got there? And what happened in Zimbabwe once the blacks took over the land?
Man.
Oh
That auto pen shit don't count either. That Joe Biden auto pen, that shit don't count. Trump should, you know what I mean? Whoever needs to be prosecuted should go on and be prosecuted because that auto pen don't count. That wasn't his signature. Y'all know that man was fucked up. It was most definitely Weekends at Barney's. That's his name. Bernie's. That's his name. Not Barney, Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's was all day or every day at the White House when Joe Biden was in there. That's a fact. Weekends at Bernie's. See, he had all the LGBT mooks in the yard. He couldn't even rock to the beat, goddammit. His spirit was shot. He was a real life Bernie. A walking dead, as you would say. Goddammit. Only thing he can do was a bullshit ass fist bump. That was forced. The fist bump was forced. And a lot of y'all need to be held accountable for protecting foolishness. Lying to the American people all this time. But we been knew. The people on the right been knew. It was the people that was in the left that was hypnotized by that experiment that no one was held accountable for. That's why people don't want crazy. Birds, squirrels, they say it's in the air, came from chemtrails. The same way they sprayed the goddamn Japanese. God damn it. They sprayed the air, y'all. Chemical warfare, biological warfare. I told y'all, we in a spiritual warfare, y'all. It's not up in your face. It might be in your food, your water supply. Most definitely the air. You see the pollution in the air. When they was bringing those test kits and shit from all over the world was coming down here to little old Chester, being burnt in the trash incinerator. Some people don't know what they was inhaling. Like I said, no one's held accountable for their foolishness, man, and their actions. It's business as usual. You understand me? And like I said, it's election day for them DAs up Philly, man. Y'all be talking this, that, and the third, but I know Philly is all part of the go along, get along gang. Like I said, y'all talk all this whole racist shit. Y'all the most racist group out there right now, and it's being exposed to the world. To the world, goddammit. The same motherfucker George Soros who fund all these woke DAs that don't give a damn about you. I've been told y'all that. I put the research up there for the peoples. We went knee deep in this shit, y'all. We went knee deep in this shit for y'all. To pull out the facts. So then y'all can do y'all homework and y'all gonna come up with the same shit I came up with. And we gonna get an A+ on this grade. You understand me? God damn it. It don't take no rocket scientist to put this shit together. It take a little bit of common sense. That's it. And sometimes you just sit back and watch and observe. And just watch the hypocrisy, deception that transpired in America, period. But it's a shame because niggas always selling niggas out, man, behind some foolishness or deception to their own peoples. That shit y'all did with Joe Biden, that was deception. That's a prime example of deception. Y'all lied to the American people. God damn it. Bamboozled them. Hoodwinked them. Led them astray. Understand me? Stuffed the banana in their tailpipes. But who do you blame? You blame them house niggas. That's part of the go along, get along gang. That sold their own peoples out. It's a history of that shit, y'all. Once you know history, and you know your history, you know what to look for when you see it. You can recognize that shit. And like I said, you can navigate through that fuck shit, huh? And that's all been going on. The blind lead the blind, y'all all end up in the ditch. And they prosecuted, not prosecuted, but arrested that congresswoman. Hold on.
The indictment of a former president is historic. But our nation living up to the principle that no one, not even a former president, not even Donald Trump, is above the law? Now that would truly be uncharted territory.
A few years later.
We're getting some breaking news, and we want to ask you about it, but apparently, Alina Habba, who is, what's her job now? She's had a couple. She is the interim U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey.
She's acting all right.
She's acting. Well, she has apparently now dismissed charges against Mayor Ras Baraka of Newark, so no longer being charged. He went to court last Thursday, but it is being reported that she has apparently filed charges against New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver. And I'm wondering your reaction to this news as we're trying to find more information. I don't believe the indictment has been unsealed yet, but our team, NBC News, is efforting to find out. But just your reaction to this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm just learning the news as we all are now. It is chilling. The reason why they're doing this is to shut me and my Democratic colleagues up. They're doing it to make us afraid. It's not going to work. If anything, it will only strengthen our resolve. But make no mistake about it, this is not normal. It is not the sort of thing that happens in healthy democracy. It is truly chilling. And I would urge all of my colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans, even those Republicans who say one thing in private about Trump, but then never want to say it in public, this should be a time when every member of Congress speaks out.
So just to offer a little...
Boy. So we have finally gotten charges against at least one of the woke Democrats who were involved in assaulting ICE agents in Newark as they tried to invade an ICE detention facility to rescue illegal immigrants, right? Because that's what the purpose was. They don't want the illegals to be detained by ICE, okay? So they ran up to the facility demanding to go inside and to be able to check it out to make sure that the illegals have a nice bed to sleep in, okay? Making sure they're drinking clean water, okay? You know, things that they don't do for actual American, citizens, right? Go to their neighborhoods and to make sure that they got all the necessities, right? They can sleep comfortable at night. No, they don't do that for people like me and you. No, they do it for illegal immigrants. And now you have at least one Democrat facing accountability, Miss LaMonica McIver, okay, a Democrat representative from New Jersey, by the way. She has been charged with assaulting ICE agents, okay? And it was caught on video, right? We all saw it. Unless you happen to be a Democrat or a liberal propagandist on CNN and MSNBC, they're currently losing their minds over what's happening right now.
Slamming and all the other crazy stuff that they're going to say about her. How do you see this?
We've all seen that video, and it's absurd to charge a member of Congress, Representative McIver, with doing anything other than doing her job. Yes, it was an intense situation. There was no crime there. What was Ras Baraka's crime? The mayor. They just had to throw out the charges against him. What did Judge Dugan do over in Wisconsin? Right. Michael, she simply controlled her courtroom. She let a migrant exit into a public hallway. The Department of Justice under Donald Trump and AG Pam Bondi is running amok. Donald Trump promised he'd be a dictator on day one. He kept going. This is the latest example. No normal administration would do this, but the courts are going to have the last word with this. This will not stand.
Tell us, when you see that she's now been charged with these allegations, is that what you experienced? Is that what you witnessed?
Well, I think the Congress people went there to do their job, to have oversight. I think, ultimately this is not about even what happened there. It's about a fight in this country, about due process and the Constitution of the United States. I think there's some people who believe they could do what they want to do and violate people's rights and their due process, and there are people who are trying to provide oversight, and it's causing conflict in this. I didn't see any of the things that were stated. I didn't see any of those things happen. So, I think that the Congresswoman will be vindicated. And the videos are clear. Everybody can see those videos. They'll see the whole thing, and it'll be clear to me, and it'll be clear to her in court.
I mean, the videos are pretty clear, are they not? I mean, she's shoving.
So.
The DraftKings Casino app. It's got something for everyone.
Roughhousing them dudes, man. She roughhousing them dudes, man.
Punches. I mean, this is violent activity against law enforcement, isn't it?
It's a lot of pushing and shoving. I don't know if...
Would a regular person, if they came and did that to a federal officer, get away with it? Like a regular, just a non-politician?
They might get pardoned.
If they showed up at a federal facility,
they might get pardoned by the.
But were they charged? Were they charged? Were they convicted in court?
Let me.
Would a regular person get away with it?
You brought up what she was doing or not doing,
and now she's facing some accountability. Okay, so I want to go ahead and react to it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines. Some breaking news to bring you right now out of Newark, New Jersey. Well, you might remember some of these scenes we brought you, about a week and a half ago? Let's take this. You remember this? This was outside Delaney Hall, that privately run facility. It was contracted by a private company to house undocumented migrants pending deportation. And you remember, at that very scene were 3 Democratic members of Congress from New Jersey and the mayor of Newark, Ross Baraka, who happens to be also running to be New Jersey's next governor. So you see there the melee that is caused as these members of Congress and the mayor of Newark were trying to gain access to the facility. Well, in front of me right now, I have an official statement, an official update from the acting U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey. That's, of course, Alina Habba, who at one point was President Trump's personal attorney. She's now in an acting capacity in this role here. Take a look at that. You see Baraka in the baseball cap. You also see there LaMonica McIver in the red blazer and the red glasses. Let's read this statement from Alina Habba. I have it in front of me. She says this: I take my obligations as U.S. Attorney seriously. I understand the responsibility that comes with my position, and I will work diligently to uphold the law and deliver justice to the people of New Jersey. She says, after extensive consideration, we have agreed to dismiss Mayor Baraka's misdemeanor charge of trespass for the sake of moving forward. So, headline there, the charge against the mayor of Newark has been dismissed. That was a misdemeanor charge of criminal trespass.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with the dismissal of that charge. Okay, I still think that he deserved it, but maybe, just maybe, that charge may not be worth going after, considering how it is a misdemeanor. So it's like kind of whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? And like, he wasn't actually gonna be punished, okay? At least not severely for it. So it may not be worth their time.
Talking about the house nigga that was locked up by appointment. Nigga was locked up by appointment, y'all. You knew it was a little misdemeanor charge. Little house nigga.
Right, and now that his charges have been dropped, he can't boo-hoo whine and cry and run for governor of New Jersey off of that, right? So I think that honestly has a lot more to do with it, considering if they would have followed through on this, he would have used that as leverage to campaign on and to try to make himself out to be a martyr, right? So, I kind of understand exactly why they're dropping the charge. That doesn't mean he's necessarily innocent. It just means that, hey, it's not really worth it considering the punishment he's going to get, and it might help him in his race for governor.
Now, the statement goes on to say, in the spirit of public interest, I have invited the mayor to tour, personally accompany the mayor so he can see that firsthand. She says, the citizens of New Jersey deserve unified leadership so we can get to work to keep our state safe. She says, the dismissal against the mayor is not the end of this matter. So, offering an invitation there to Mayor Baraka to tour Delaney Hall. Now, she goes on to say, let's put up more of this video from the scene itself. Take a look at this. Habba says congressional oversight is an important constitutional function and one that I fully support. However, that is not an issue in this case. Habba says this: Representative LaMonica McIver assaulted, impeded, and interfered with law enforcement in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 111A1. That conduct cannot be overlooked by the chief federal law enforcement official in the state of New Jersey, and it is my constitutional obligation to ensure that our federal law enforcement is protected when executing their duties. She says, I have persistently made efforts to address these issues without bringing criminal charges and have given Representative McIver every opportunity to come to a resolution, but she has unfortunately declined. No one is above the law, politicians or otherwise, Habba says. It is the job of this office to uphold justice impartially, regardless of who you are. Now, we will let the justice system work. So, that is the headline. She is dismissing the charge against Newark Mayor Ross Baraka, but deciding to charge Representative LaMonica McIver there in the red blazer, that photo. Remember, she did this alongside her Democratic colleagues from New Jersey, including Rob Menendez Jr. and Bonnie Watson-Coleman. But McIver has been charged over that chaotic Newark ICE detention center protest, and Mayor Baraka's charges were dismissed. So this is all coming in as we speak from the acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba. So McIver has been charged there after Habba says she made efforts to address these issues without bringing charges and has given McIver every opportunity to come to a resolution. Habba says this.
Conservative Matt Wolford, an experienced fighter Republicans can count on. Vote Wolford for Commonwealth Court. Get out of the old and spring into a new Mazda from Ferrucci Mazda. Right now,
McIver has unfortunately declined. And McIver is responding. Her statement on the charges filed against me, she says this. Earlier this month, I joined my colleagues to inspect the treatment of ICE detainees at Delaney Hall in my district. We were fulfilling our lawful oversight responsibilities as members of Congress have done many times before, and our visit should have been peaceful and short. Instead, ICE agents created an unnecessary and unsafe confrontation when they chose to arrest Mayor Baraka. The charges against me are purely political. They mischaracterize and distort my actions and are meant to criminalize and deter legislative oversight. This administration will never stop me from working for the people in our district and standing up for what is right. I am thankful for the outpouring of support I have received, and I look forward to the truth being laid out clearly in court.
Now, well, I mean, we don't have to wait for that because it's on video, right? I mean, we just watched the video multiple times. Her assaulting ICE agents. I mean, she did it multiple times, right? She was clearly very physical and aggressive, okay, trying to fight them. And we saw it, right? So we don't have to wait until it gets to court. We can see it, okay? We can see it. This is exactly what happened, right? It's just so funny how these people will get caught on camera and then they'll deny it, right? Oh, this is purely political. And it's like, well, I don't know, man. The footage doesn't seem political to me, right? The footage seems pretty unbiased, right? It seems pretty nonpartisan, okay? It seems to me that, you know, you did it. We caught it on camera. And we're going to see, right? Just like with that woke judge. You remember how they claimed, oh, it's purely political, right? She didn't really do anything by helping illegals escape. Well, hey, a grand jury disagrees, right? They disagree because she has been indicted as well, too, and she's going to face trial. And, yeah, this is what accountability looks like, right? I love this, okay? I am very happy that the Trump administration is not letting these Democrats get away with being above the law, right? Because that's what they believe. They believe that they're above the law, right? They claim that nobody's above the law except when it comes to them, right? When it comes time for them to face responsibility and accountability for their actions, their criminal behavior, now all of a sudden they want to cry foul, right? They claim, well, this is political. Now, we were told for the last 4 years, it's impossible for the DOJ to weaponize the justice system against people, right? This is what they told us. Oh, it's not possible, right? The Biden DOJ is not weaponizing the system, even though, I mean, recently you had Democrats basically admit that, yeah, Democrats actually are capable of doing that, and they definitely did that, especially with the hush money case. But, you know, it's so funny how as soon as Trump gets in office, all of a sudden now they want to say that the DOJ is weaponized, right? And that these charges are political when they just spent the last 4 years telling us how that's not possible, right? It's not possible, okay? So, you know, we're going to see what happens with this. But I think that an important message needs to be sent regardless.
Remember, Baraka, the mayor, he was taken into custody that day. He was detained. He was later released that very same day. But now we have one of these members of Congress, one of these New Jersey Democrats who was on hand for this, LaMonica McIver, now charged over her role in this.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, don't be surprised if the race card comes out, right? They're going to say, oh, Trump's DOJ is targeting a black woman, right? This is what they're going to say, okay? We already know what they're going to say about this, okay? But I got to say personally that this is important, right? Holding her accountable is really important because it sends a message that you cannot obstruct ICE, right? You cannot be assaulted. Cats popping up all across the country, like, for example, what recently happened in Worcester, Massachusetts, okay, in which you had residents there basically tried to assault ICE after they pulled up to make an arrest. Take a look.
Fallout now in Worcester, Massachusetts, following the chaotic ICE arrest of a woman last week. Worcester police are now releasing dramatic police body cam video of the incident. Get it hot. Make it big. It's a fact. Hit it like. Get it hot. You're gonna get injured. What you see here? Neighbors and a family member trying to stop ICE agents from arresting the woman. Worcester officials say after considering the chaos that erupted, they're now exploring how their employees, including police, should interact with federal immigration agents. CNN's Gloria Pazmino is following all of this. Gloria, help put all of this into context for us.
Yeah, Fred, and that's important because what we're seeing here is essentially a municipality that is struggling with what to do when federal law enforcement agents show up in its town to enforce immigration law. And that's exactly what we were seeing here. You had ICE enforcement show up to Worcester, Massachusetts to arrest a woman. And it was during that attempt that chaos erupted, as you can see in the video. Now, the city has released the video in part to try and get some clarity about exactly what happened here. Now, let me explain what you're looking at here. There was a woman in a house in Worcester, Massachusetts, taking care of an infant and a 16-year-old. ICE showed up. She called the 16-year-old's mother to come and help. As it turns out, ICE was there to arrest the mother of the 16-year-old. When they moved in to arrest her, the 16-year-old tried to block the ICE officers from being able to take her. It turns out that that was the teenager's mother who they were trying to arrest. Now, it gets really chaotic here where she is holding an infant, you can see it there, and she is standing in front of a police vehicle in an attempt to block it. And this is where things really begin to fall apart, right? Because they are blocking this police video. They're holding an infant in their arms, putting that child in danger. And now you have immigration officers who are trying to make an arrest and local police who are trying to keep things under control. There's a lot of people surrounding the officers. People are chanting, "Do not take the mother," again, that the woman that ICE is there to arrest. And so this is a really chaotic situation, and that's why local police responded. Now, the 16-year-old was eventually arrested and charged. You can see there that she's holding the infant, along with another woman who was also charged with assault and battery on a police officer, among other charges.
Yeah, so again, Democrats are inspiring copycats, right? They're inspiring copycats, and we can't have that. Now, what I find to be interesting is what the response is going to be from the actual Democrat Party in Congress, because Hakeem Jeffries sent a warning to the Trump DOJ if they happen to charge one of these Democrats for assaulting ICE. You guys remember Hakeem Jeffries and this message that he put out?
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members, or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do, though? I mean,
they'll find out.
Of course. I mean, but doesn't that broach a...
They'll find out.
Doesn't that go across...
It's a red line.
What's the red line, though? I mean, I know we have to see...
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration. We're not going to be intimidated by their tactics to try to force principled opposition from not standing up to their extremism. It hasn't happened during the entirety of this failed term. It didn't happen when Donald Trump temporarily was sitting high in the immediate aftermath of the election. Do you think it's going to happen now when he's the most unpopular president in American history after his first 100 days? Give me a break. No one's intimidated by this dude. No one. And so there are clear lines that they just dare not cross.
Red lines that they dare not cross, okay? They'll find out. We'll see, right? We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're going to see what happens, Hakeem. Okay, are you going to put your money where your mouth is, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Hakeem? I can't wait to see this dude's reaction. What is he going to do? Because he was talking big smack, when there was speculation that this was going to happen. I don't know why it took so long. Again, it was on video. I think they just want to make sure it's a tight case before they do it, right? They don't want to just willy-nilly slap charges on it, so I get it, right? But, yeah, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what the Democrats do. In my opinion, I think that this member of Congress, actually, I think all three of them, to be honest, all of them that were involved, they should be removed. Right now, we know that Democrats are never going to vote to have them removed, but I think there should be a vote and get Democrats on record in regards to how they absolutely do believe that they are above the law, right? That they are above the law. Everybody else is not above the law except them. It's going to be fascinating to see them defending a woman being caught on camera, on body camera, assaulting ICE agents, right? Like, again, we all know if these were Republicans, okay, who pulled up to some abortion clinic and you had federal police there for whatever reason, and they started attacking federal police, they'd be losing their minds. And not only would they be losing their minds, they would be demanding that they are removed from Congress, right? That they're charged, arrested, thrown in jail, removed from Congress, and never heard from again. This is what they'd be demanding. But when it's one of their own, though, oh, well, this is political, it's unfair, they're attacking a black woman, right? That's what they're going to say. They're going to scream hatred and bigotry. That's what they're going to do, right? That's what they're going to do. So we're going to see, right? We're going to see what Hakeem Jeffries is going to do, what this guy Obama is going to do. I personally don't think he's going to do a damn thing. I think he's going to boo out and cry and you know, throw a fit and pretend like, you know, he's super upset when, again, this woman got caught on camera assaulting federal police. She should be removed from Congress, to be honest with you. That really should be a punishment. Plus jail time, right? That's exactly what should happen. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Greg, salute.
clearing.
Not an Obama T-Move. What time is it? 12:24, heathens. The youngsters about to get out. Yeah, King was talking all that shit. Ain't nobody afraid of this dude. What's gonna happen, Hakeem, if they lock somebody up? Well, niggas just be yapping, man. Them niggas don't got no power, man. They just be yapping. You heard? I'm gonna end this video, y'all. That fucking experiment that y'all went out and took, y'all better hold them motherfuckers accountable. Everybody got paid off y'all. Whoever took that jab, you was sold. Your soul was sold.